We got so many things in the studio now that it's kind of hard to keep up with. It really is. Let's see here. Let me shut the door to the studio. There we go. And
loud crowd out there.
Yeah. Good morning, Amy. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, the phone rings.
Phone rings.
Yeah. I'm at work.
Oh, yeah. So, Amy Glasspool is joining us, and we struck up a conversation. Brian and I went down to get some dinner. And when we're on the road doing the show for the showcase in Key West, we don't eat out much. We just go and get something, and after the show, and she walked up, we started having a conversation, and you started talking about the liveaboards and what a problem it is in Key West and things that are changing and going on. And it really struck me that this was something that we need to help you get the word out about. So tell us a little bit about what you got going on.
So basically what started my journey with this, because I haven't been a liveaboard for, years and years and years. I've been here for 5 years. I've been a liveaboard for all of them. About a year ago, there was a liveaboard named Eric that had tried to go out to his boat during inclement weather, and he wasn't a liveaboard. He was renting a boat due to lack of affordable housing, and he was not an experienced boater. He didn't have the safety education, and Eric ended up drowning.
Oh,
and
wow.
So that's what sparked my interest in being an advocate for the liveaboards. There have been multiple deaths. And it's all due to lack of education on both the government's part. Not that it's their responsibility, but at some point, if you have lack of affordable housing for an entire workforce of people that are going to live on boats that have no knowledge of what they're doing, there is a kind of a give and a take that there should be happening. We've had 2 more deaths since Eric died, and that's the last one was on Christmas Eve, and his name was Wes, and he worked locally here at Caroline's, and it was avoidable. It was back during bad weather. There's a lack of shelters down here for the workforce. There needs to be some sort of shelter, some sort of church that opens their doors. And Glad Tidings, Pastor Carey at Glad Tidings has offered that, but there are things that they have to do in order to make that happen. And liveaboards are kind of renegades, for a lack of better terms, and they don't want background checks, and they don't want to do this, and they don't want to do that. And I'd say 90% of liveaboards during bad weather, they're going to want to be on their boat.
Yeah.
But they should have an alternate place to go, like especially elderly or that have children. That's not available down here.
Yeah.
So,
Key West has really changed a lot over the last 5 or 6 years, and we all know that it's changed, and we all know that it's getting harder and harder. And one of the biggest problems that I see in Key West is that the people that really run the island, the people that are working, the waiters, the waitresses, the cooks, the bartenders, the people working in the hotels, the people who really run that island are somewhat being pushed out because there's no place to live, right? And it's a big problem. If you're going to try to make Key West a millionaire's backyard, and that term has been thrown around a lot, then how are you going to take care of the people that's actually taking care of everybody else, right? So it's a big problem in Key West.
It's huge. It's absolutely huge. I live on a boat because I can't afford to live on land here. I never will be able to afford a house here.
Yeah.
And I run a restaurant. I'm the general manager of a restaurant. I make good money, and I still can't afford it.
Yeah.
So, I look at my servers who come in and they work 5 or 6 days a week here, and then they go to another restaurant and they work, and then they pick up jobs here. Like, they've got 3 or 4 jobs.
Yeah.
To be able to share a house with somebody.
Yeah.
It's not like you just go get an apartment on your own. Everybody's stacked in 3 or 4 deep in every place they live.
Yeah.
So it is an issue.
Yeah, and I really don't know what the answer is, and because there's only so much space in Key West, and when 2020 happened and the pandemic happened, and people saw what was going on with the real estate, people that owned houses turned them into B&Bs, which then hurts the hotel industry down there. But the hotel industry somewhat did it to themselves because they started charging $800 a night instead of the normal $200. And so people were like, well, let's just get an Airbnb, and the six of us can split the cost. And so now the city is all complaining about the hotel taxes that they're not getting, but they all did this to themselves, and it's a mess down there when it comes to. We were talking about Key West Chris and Danny Hoy doing 320 gigs a year. They're at Two Friends Cafe over here. They're over here at Willie T's or whatever. Well, they have to in order to live there.
Right. It's a definite issue down here, and there's not going to be anybody left. There are probably 400 to 600 liveaboards that are part of the workforce housing, and with this new State Bill 1432 that's supposed to be in effect now, all the liveaboards that are on anchor are going to have to move their boats half a mile from where they currently are every 90 days. Oh. That not only destroys the sea floor, like it causes havoc for those boaters, because at least where you're at now, you've established the pattern that the anchors have caused to the seagrass floor. Like every 90 days, you have 150 boats that are going to have to move. The damage that does to the reef and everything else down here is just it's going to be astronomical. And I don't really feel like people who know what it is to be a liveaboard they didn't have anything to do with making this bill. Somebody who was, let's just make them move. Yeah. They have no knowledge of what it takes to actually to do that.
Yeah, and so you decided to get involved with it, so much so that you're probably you were talking about when I last spoke to you about maybe running for office to try to change this, right? So I don't know if that's what you're going to do or not, but it does take people like yourself, and that's why you struck me as I love passion in people, no matter what it is, whatever they're passionate about. And you were very passionate about that to even have a conversation with it. And, I've thought about it ever since that there's so many things going on in Key West behind the scenes that people don't really realize. And I think it's important to bring it out into the open. And you just never know who's stumbles across this video or listens on the radio or whatever that can help you with that. So what is the solution? Yeah.
The solution is basically going to have to be our community fighting against the city. Yeah. And it shouldn't be a fight. It should be a work together. It's got to be people that show up to the meetings to give thoughts and ideas and solutions to problems to make this work for everybody. It can't just be me fighting by myself or Stan Loveday. Luckily we have Commissioner Sam Kaufman on our side, and he has been a great advocate for us. He has been outstanding, but he's just one person on the commission. Yeah. And it's going to take a lot more. I'm one person. Stan is one person. My husband is one person. We need hundreds of people. We need the workforce to walk into City Hall and be like, hey, we matter.
Yeah.
Because we do. Without all of us, that's a big chunk of restaurants and hotels and stores that are not going to have employees. And it's going to be a sad day when Key West is too expensive for the weird that go pro here.
Yeah.
A better term.
The weird that go pro. I love that. Well, over my shoulder here is the One Human Family sticker, that I keep close to my heart, because I love Key West. There's so many things that I love about Key West that has nothing to do with a bar stool. It's walking around the island or taking a cup of coffee and going through the Key West Cemetery in the morning time or whatever. These are things that I love. But I've noticed a change in it as well. And that's why I felt it was enough. It was important enough to have you on to talk about it, and hopefully there is a solution. Like you say, it's going to take an army of people to say, "Hey, enough is enough." I mean, even when we had our showcase down there this year, The bartenders were so beat up from Fantasy Fest that they were running a little short at Dirty Harry's. And we had our crew of radio personalities and family that were there, and so they had to cook and they had to flip the hamburgers, and the show had to still go on, but it was enough of a distraction to say, this is a real problem that because you know what, I don't have to come to work because there's plenty of I can walk over here and get another job if I have to, because everybody needs help, but. That's good in one sense, but in another sense, it's like, man, I'm just tired. I've been working 21 days straight, 3 jobs. I can't do it anymore.
Right. I mean, I've lived here almost 5 years, and I've been to the beach twice.
Yeah.
I live on an island. I've been to the beach twice. That's but I work 6 days a week, and I have to, because I have a lifestyle that I like to live down here, and that's the only way to do it.
There you go. There you go. Well, listen, you let us know if there's anything we can do to help. Go ahead and plug where you're working at right now, by the way. Where you at?
Thank you. I'm at the Breakfast Club 2, 610 Green Street.
One of my
11
favorites.
Bloody Marys and 11 different mimosas.
That's right.
Nice.
That's I took the whole crew there.
Yes, and thank you for giving us our shirt. You gave me an extra shirt.
Yeah, that's
I'll
right.
I'll never forget it.
We brought the whole crew down there, had a nice breakfast that morning, and
it was wonderful.
It was wonderful, and we'll probably make that a tradition for us if you're still there when we come back down in November. But
I'm not going anywhere.
Good.
Well, if something you want to get the word out, you can text me, you can send me a message. You don't have to necessarily. I know you got to take off from work to actually come on to the show, and I really appreciate it. I don't want to hold you up, but if there's anything that we can do, you let me know, and we'll do all we can to help what I consider the people that's running the island down there.
Thank you so much. I will definitely be in contact.
All right. Well, we'll let you get back to it. There's probably people screaming out there wanting their Bloody Marys right now.
Yep.
Have a great day, sweetheart. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You too.
All right. Bye-bye.